My name is Christy Johnson. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the Los Angeles Field Office of the FBI. Welcome to the FBI exhibit here at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. I really hope you enjoy your time.
In 1908, President Roosevelt and his Attorney General Charles Bonaparte agreed that they needed to do something with the federal government to help protect the American society against corruption. It was getting completely out of hand and widespread. So Charles Bonaparte put together a small investigative unit of a couple dozen agents. In 1909, under President Taft, that group of agents became known as the Bureau of Investigation, a name that remained with the organization until 1935, when it was renamed the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Welcome to our new exhibit, FBI from Al Capone to Al Qaeda, at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library Museum, open now through January 9th, 2022. In this video podcast, we're going to explore the storied history of the FBI, from inception to its modern-day fight against terrorism. And we're going to talk about the over 300 artifacts on display. Now, this is the first time in history that all of these remarkable artifacts and criminal case studies have ever been on display at the same time in the same place. It truly is a must-see exhibition. You've got to come see it. The FBI's job today is to protect the United States from terrorist attacks, foreign intelligence operations and cyber attacks, while continuing to investigate organized crime, violent crime, white-collar crime, public corruption, and civil rights violations. Through the use of artifacts, photographs, and interviews with retired and current FBI agents, FBI from Al Capone to Al Qaeda shares the behind-the-scenes stories of some of their most famous cases. Cases like the mobsters of the 30s and 40s, bombings like the Oklahoma City bombing, the Olympic Park bombing, and the Unabomber, the assassination attempt of Ronald Reagan, and the assassination of Robert Kennedy. Cases that changed the way the FBI operated, like the Miami shootout, the Pan Am 103 explosion, and so much more.
The FBI is, in my estimation, the premier law enforcement agency in the world today, bar none. Its agents and employees are the most dedicated, professional people that you would ever want to work with.
The FBI is made up of people from all walks of life, from all cultures, from all countries. They are men and women who come to work every single day to try to make a difference in our society.
The great thing about the Bureau, is like you're not a Hispanic agent, you're not a black agent, you're just an agent. Okay, there's only one color, in the FBI, and that color is blue.
As part of our exhibit, guests learn about Quantico, the FBI training academy in Virginia. New FBI agent trainees live in the dormitories and attend over 800 hours of instruction. Hands-on training includes firearm instruction, tactical exercises, defense tactics and combat, driving training, and more. Guests at the Reagan Library's FBI exhibit get to try their hand at a mock shooting range based on the scenario tested on in Quantico. Guests also learn about Hogan's Alley, an area of Quantico FBI agents call the most dangerous city in all of America. Hogan's Alley is a mock town comprised of a bank, hotel, post office, sandwich shop, and more. Hogan's Alley training thrusts agents into immersive, realistic, and stressful scenarios that are based on actual cases field agents have experienced. In our Hogan's Alley, take the digital kiosk quiz to see which profession you're best suited for in the FBI and even learn how to apply.
I would just like to say that if you know anybody that is interested in a career in the FBI, to visit FBIjobs.gov. We have a job for everyone. We are always looking to recruit talented and passionate individuals who want to join us.
What else does the exhibit include? The actual car that Bonnie and Clyde were shot and killed in, along with the shirt Clyde was wearing that day. Police counted 167 bullet holes in the car following the shooting, and the coroner counted 17 bullet holes in him and 24 in her.
Our other major story tonight, a break in the Unabomber case. FBI agents are searching the Montana cabin of former mathematics professor Ted Kaczynski.
Did you know that the FBI had 2,417 suspects when they were searching for the Unabomber? Ted Kaczynski was suspect number 2,416. What led to his arrest? He wrote and sent his manifesto, The Industrial Society and Its Future, to newspapers. After it was printed, his sister-in-law recognized the thoughts as those of her husband's brother, and she and her husband contacted law enforcement. That original manifesto, along with other items found in his cabin, are on display, including a bomb he had built that he had not yet detonated.
The cabin in which Mr. Kaczynski was living was a 10 by 12 foot cabin with a loft. It was a single wall construction, had no insulation. It had no running water and no electricity and no toilet facilities. All of the things that you see on the shelves of the cabin pretty much were component parts of future bombs. And we found the explosive bomb people found a fully functioning anti-personnel bomb under his bed during the 9-day search of the cabin. It was the biggest, most effective bomb he had yet built.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way!
The exhibit also goes back to 9/11 and highlights the heroic efforts of the FBI's evidence response teams. The gallery includes 2 jet engine sections and a piece of the landing gear from United Flight 175 that was supposed to go from Boston to Los Angeles, but instead was crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. We have the recovered FBI jacket of John O'Neill, who was killed while helping to evacuate the North Tower, and many other items from that day.
The force of the impact of the towers coming down demolished everything. I never even found the pencil intact because it was just so granular because there was nothing left, and so you found very, very few things intact until you got to Windows on the World at the very top of the Trade Center. Believe it or not, there was actually a gift shop up there, and so we actually have gift shop things that were intact because it was on top of the towers when they came down. So did that a lot. Then we're down at ground zero, again, doing evidence sweeps because I remember some agent had found one of the passports of one of the terrorists actually on the street, sitting in some gasoline. You know, that was just from that. So we started doing evidence sweeps down there. I remember that also the first day I drove home, I had an engine that from this plane that hits its South Tower landed about 30 feet from my car.
For more information on our exhibit and to pre-purchase tickets, please visit reaganlibrary.com/FBI. Tickets to our FBI exhibit also include admission into the main Reagan Library Museum and Air Force One Pavilion. With over 300 artifacts on display, there are too many cases and stories to share with you in this Inside the Reagan Library podcast.
Seeing it on TV and it's in real person, it's 2 completely different things. It blew my mind.
I loved the FBI exhibit. I thought it was really fascinating, especially the stuff on Bonnie and Clyde and the Alcatraz exhibit. I will definitely come back with all of my friends.
This exhibit today at the Ronald Reagan Museum and Library of the FBI is absolutely fantastic. I've seen FBI exhibits elsewhere. This is the most professionally done.
Today's exhibit put on here at the Reagan Library is outstanding. It has quite a bit of diversity, from forensics to counterterrorism, bank robbery investigations, fugitive cases, as well as espionage, sabotage. Has the full gamut. That would be extremely interesting for anyone to attend and learn more about the FBI. And also we talk about in the exhibit recruiting and some of the challenges that the agents face going through the applicant process and also through the FBI Training Academy in Quantico, Virginia. I would highly recommend the exhibit for anyone, whether they're current or past law enforcement, military, or general citizenry, so they understand and can appreciate what the FBI does for all Americans and really all for the world every day.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this Inside the Reagan Library video. See you soon.